JCW's Legends and Icons. The entire show will be available worldwide on internet pay-per-view at psychopathiclive.com for $14.99. Featuring play-by-play commentary by JCW's KG Kevin Gill and the hardcore legend himself, Mick Foley. Backstage interviews for home viewers provided by OneWrestling.com's Bill Apter. Ring announcing will be provided by WCW legendary ring announcer David Penzer. The matches. The return match from the infamous July 1985 Baltimore, Maryland Steel Cage Classic, where the Hammer notoriously destroyed the WWF Intercontinental title. These two Hall of Famers will actually go at it again 26 years later, inside another classic-style 15-foot-high steel cage. This time, the winner takes home a beautiful JCW Legends and Icons trophy. Greg the Hammer Valentine versus Tito Santana. This good old scrap between two of the South's toughest brawlers has actually been a long time coming. They've crossed paths throughout territories like Memphis, USWA, Smoky Mountain, WCW, and even ECW over the years, in tag matches with and against each other. But they have never actually wrestled each other in a one-on-one match. It's finally time these two men have it out to the finish, once and for all. And may the best Southern roughneck win. Southern Tracy Smothers versus Tommy Wildfire Rich. Extreme Fire. Before Extreme Championship Wrestling closed their doors, WWE and WCW seemingly followed suit and gave their own promotions the same much-needed overhaul to better fit modern times. 6 ECW greats from the promotion's earliest days up until its final days reunite for this amazing six-way battle, reigniting the legend of ECW for one last night of extreme action. Shane Douglas versus Raven versus Al Snow with Head versus Rhino versus Balls Mahoney versus Mystery former ECW star. Memphis Fire. Memphis wrestling reached infamous heights of popularity during the 70s and 80s in Tennessee. The promotion continuously sold out the Coliseum week after week as fans paced the rafters to see their hero, the King, take on foe after foe. At Legends and Icons, 4 of the territory's biggest stars returned for one final chance to claim victory over 3 of their own career-spanning enemies. Jerry the King Lawler versus Kamala the Ugandan Giant versus Coco Beware versus Dirty Dutch Mantel. Super Dream Match. WWE's Monday Night Raw versus WCW's Nitro. The war that brought the best out of each company as they competed with everything they had to win the ratings war each and every week. Both companies utilized their top men and biggest stars. For example, WWE had Generation DX and WCW had the NWO. The chances of these two factions ever facing each other in a dream match was exactly that, a dream. Until now. A full decade and a half after the dust has settled and the war is over, we finally get to see the very showdown fans have talked about for the last 15 years. Special guest, referee X-Pac, D-Generation X, Badass Billy Gunn, Road Dogg versus the New World Order, Big Daddy Cool Kevin Nash, Razor Scott Hall. Classic Rock versus Punk Rock. Another dream match featuring teams from 2 different generations and 2 different promotions. It's multiple NWA WCW tag champs versus multiple WWE tag champs. Each team has its advantages. One team is younger than the other, yet the older team has stayed active on the independent scene, while the younger team hasn't been in the ring in almost 10 years. Both teams thrive off the essence of high-speed music and pounding drums, as this should be a high-speed match with pounding fists. The Headbangers versus the Rock and Roll Express. This is a match that sold out Madison Square Garden in New York City 3 times. a classic of classics. The Olympic Strongman versus 6-year-long reigning WWF World Heavyweight Champion. It finally happens again. The long-awaited rematch, 31 years in the making. It's almost too awesome to even believe it's really happening. But it will, at Legends and Icons. Olympic Strongman Ken Patera versus Bob Backlund. 10 WWE legends from 4 different generations all do battle in this extreme Royal Rumble-style Battle Royale. The match starts with 2 men in the ring, and every 60 seconds another wrestler enters the match. When a wrestler is thrown out over the top ropes, he is eliminated. The last man left standing in the ring is the winner of this historical match, and he takes home a beautiful Legends and Icons plaque. Rikishi, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Mr. USA Tony Atlas, Zach Gowen, Rugged Ronnie Garvin, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, Eugene, the Honky Tonk Man, Viscera, Rob Conway. The main event. This is the absolute super dream match of a lifetime. 2 of the all-time greatest heels ever in pro wrestling will finally duke it out on American soil during an excruciating I Quit match. Legend has it that the 2 may have wrestled only once before in Toronto, Canada, way back in 1984. But if that's true, that was long before their iconic stature was intact and their legend was built to the status it is today. The biggest question of the year is who is going to be able to force the other into saying those infamous words, I quit. Terry Funk versus Rowdy Piper with Cowboy Bob Orton. Brother, I've been a huge fan of this wonderful sport my entire life. I myself don't recall ever hearing about a larger, more stacked Legends or Nostalgia show ever. There will be no tables full of gimmicks with wrestlers charging the people for pictures or autographs. This will be a straight-up awesome wrestling show from top to bottom. At midnight, July 12th at the Gathering of the Juggalos, or on internet pay-per-view for only $14.99. Order now at psychopathiclive.com.